The story of the lost colony of Roanoke is one of America's oldest mysteries, a tale of ambition, struggle, and a haunting disappearance. It begins in 1587, when a group of 115 English settlers landed on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. These settlers, led by John White, had travelled across the dangerous Atlantic with dreams of starting new lives. They were backed by Sir Walter Raleigh, who sought to establish one of England's first colonies in the New World. The first days at Roanoke were challenging. The settlers had come across a land that was wild and unfamiliar, and resources were quickly running low. Conflicts with nearby indigenous tribes began to create tension. Nevertheless, the colonists were determined to make a home there, and soon signs of new life emerged. Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World, was welcomed into the colony. But even this joyous event could not lift the cloud of worry that had settled over the settlers. By the end of the summer, the situation was becoming desperate. Food was scarce, and tensions were high. John White made the difficult decision to return to England for supplies. It was supposed to be a quick trip, just a few months, but fate had other plans. England was at war with Spain, and Queen Elizabeth I demanded that all available ships be used to defend the nation. John White, torn between his duty to his country and his responsibility to the colonists, had no choice but to stay in England. Months turned into years, and it wasn't until August 1590 that he was finally able to return to Roanoke. When White arrived at Roanoke, he found nothing. The settlement was empty, and there was no trace of his family or the other settlers. Every home and fortification was gone, dismantled or overgrown. White searched frantically for any clue that might reveal what had happened to the settlers. There was no sign of a struggle or any signs of violence. The only clue he found was a single word carved into a tree: CROATOAN. To John White, this word was significant. CROATOAN was the name of a nearby island, as well as the name of a friendly Native American tribe who lived there. It was possible that the settlers had relocated there. But before White could investigate further, a fierce storm swept in, forcing him to abandon his search. He returned to England heartbroken and confused, and he never made it back to Roanoke. No one from that fateful colony was ever seen again. Over the centuries, theories about the fate of the lost colonists have flourished. Some say they assimilated with local tribes, blending their lives and cultures into one. Others believe they tried to sail back to England and were lost at sea. Some even whisper about supernatural explanations, suggesting that the colony was cursed or fell victim to mysterious forces beyond human understanding. The lost colony of Roanoke remains a haunting enigma, a story that has woven its way into American folklore and history. And as the centuries roll on, it serves as a reminder of how thin the line between survival and disappearance can, leaving us to wonder what really happened to the settlers of Roanoke. The only ones who know the answer are long gone, leaving behind a mystery that may never be solved.